What's the difference between three dicks and a joke? Yeah, mum can't take a joke.
Arms, rest!
Very nice selection.
This is episode 7, part deuce. Let's fucking go. Alright, so here we are, episode 7, part 2. And like I said, I'll talk about how I record and go through all that stuff with the guitar. I'll start off first with the gear that I'm using for this. And then I'll show you my recording process for it. Start off with, for this, I'm using my LTD EC256. LP style guitar. I picked this up a couple of months back. Brought it off Trade Me from a guy down in Christchurch. Got one hell of a deal on it. Quite enjoyed it. It's my only guitar that I've got the flame maple top there. I don't actually think it's maple. It's probably a veneer, but possibly bring up the specs in that. And the other thing, so what I use for recording is my Belton GP200, which I've already covered before. And then of course I'm going with Garage Days through my Mac, and pretty simple, really simple stuff. So the guitar is set up, it's in drop D at the moment. The strings are 10 to 52. I know I've been doing a lot of maybe bit drop D and stuff lately. I do enjoy doing the old drop C and standard C tuning as well. The way that my pedal is set up, I will touch on right now. So I've just drawn a really simple sketch here of my setup. As you can see, it's just really simple. So the guitar obviously plugged into the Valton over here. So this is the pedal. That's the input there. And for recording, I use the USB-C or the USB straight to my Mac, straight to the computer. So that's recording my sound. So what you will get when you're using GarageBand and that, probably with other DAWs as well, is you'll get this option here. So you'll see when you bring up a track or you want to start a new project, you'll get this option here. I want to hear my instrument as I play and record. I don't do that, not when I'm doing the guitar and the bass anyway. I just find that there's a bit of latency there. Now, I'm not sure if that's because of the pedal or my setup or what's going on there. I've just found that there's a tiny little bit of latency or delay, so that when I'm playing, the sound that's coming back at me is slightly behind. So that's the reason why I don't use that. So instead, what I do is, as you can see here, I've marked it green for the right speaker and red for the left speaker. So the GP200 has 4 output jacks on it. So you got the 2 XLRs and the 2 jacks. At the moment, I'm just running the 2 3/4 jacks. I've just left my XLR cables in the box so that, you know, if there ever is a random moment when I actually get to go and jam live, I can just take my pedal and grab those cables and away I go. So, like I said, the way it works, so obviously the left hand goes to the left hand speaker over here, and then the right hand goes up to the right hand speaker over there, so that way it's panned and stuff and you can do all that. So that's my setup. It's pretty simple, very straightforward, and I really hope that this shocking sketch of mine will help for those of you starting out. Again, like I said, I just feel that doing it this way, I get a much more realistic idea of what my sound is that's going into the recording, and it's pretty accurate. Very straightforward. So the next thing I'm going to touch on is, of course, the settings on my Belton, which we'll get to right now. Okay, so with my Belton pedal, just about any Valton pedal, I think, they all come with programs. So I'm just going to show it to you up on the screen right now. So as you can see here, this is for the GP200. I do have another program for the GP100, but they've all got them. All you do is just get your pedal, go to the website and just follow the instructions from there. It's pretty simple. The GP200 does come with the ability to load NAND products. There's I think neural lamp modelers. I don't do that myself. I think you need to have all the updates and stuff done to it. Once I found my sound that I really liked, I just stuck with it. My attitude to that is why fix what isn't broken. So plus, I really don't want to be spending any more sort of money than I have to. It's there, it's good, I'm happy with it, that's all that matters, right? And it's perfect for my situation, for the whole bedroom guitarist, bloody, that sort of carry on. So as you can see here, you've got a whole bunch of stuff that you can choose from. So this is my setting at the moment. So the rhythm setting that you've heard, that you've been hearing on pretty much right across all the tunes that I've done with the episodes and with the channel. So down here you got all these pedal selections and amp selections and that. I do the only downside really to the GP200, I'm not sure if they might have updated that and made it with their new pedals that's coming out. I think there's the 50 and the 150 and all that. But you can't use two sort of pedals at once. So you can't use two distortion pedals at once. You've only got the one distortion, as you can see here. I don't have distortion, so I'm just going straight off the amp selection that I've got, and of course the IR. If you're wondering about IR, or impulse responses, so you can load your own impulse responses, you can find them for free. And that, I think with this one, I brought a pack from Chop Tones. I think, where is it? It'll be the cab here. So you've got the cab, you just click on that and it shows up. There you go. So yeah, that was one of the brought IRs that I got. Once I plugged my sound in, I was really happy with it, and I just stuck with it, and I was really good. So as you can see, I'm using the EV51. It's basically the, as you see, based on the PV5150 lead channel, guitarist Eddie Van Halen, all that sort of carry on. So that's the amp simulator that I'm using on this. Of course, got a noise reduction there, and distortion off, wire off, the volume, and then of course I'm using a compressor. Those are the settings that I've used for it. You can really fuck with this stuff as much as you want. Make the sound, just fiddle around with it and find the sound that you like. Get the pitch that you want loaded and done, so that when you're recording on your DAW, you don't need to mess with it in your DAW. You don't need to mess with the settings in your DAW. You don't need to mess with all the EQs and the compressors and the reverbs and stuff inside your DAW. It's already done. And you just hit record and just go for it. So that's the channel that I'm using at the moment. As you can see, just over here on the right, you got clean, rhythm, lead, and I use rock bass, but that's for the next part of this. I won't get too deep into that. Lead, of course, I use for my leads and stuff. When I'm playing lead, I tend to use the neck pickup for leads. It's just got that, I guess, more darker, more deeper, well, maybe not deep, I don't know if that's the right way to sort of describe it, but that's just, I tend to use the neck pickup for my leads, and then the bridge pickup for my rhythms. But that's your that's what you get when you get the GP200. As you can see, of course, you've got the other stuff. You've got your equalizer, and there's so many other things you can choose from there. You don't need to just find your sound, just and play with it, have fun with it, and find your sound. But once you've got that sound locked in, just get it done, and you're good to go from there. As you can see, there's the reverb, and there's just so much, and it's great. And for what you pay for these pedals, it's pretty fantastic. I mean, they're no Quad Cortex, they're no Line 6 Helix Stadium, but if you're like myself and you're just recording at home and you're just making, you're just having fun with it, it's like sitting in your room just painting a picture or drawing a picture. is pretty much exactly what I'm doing. This works really well, and you know, like I said, you got the GP100. I also have one of those, and because your GP5, GP50, GP150, you name it, just jump onto the Valton website or Artist Guitars. They also have them, and go for gold. They're a great, budget friendly, and very reliable source of pedals and stuff. And the great thing with these pedals is that they're not just for guitar, as I stated before. You've got the bass stuff on there as well, so you can use these for you if you're a bass player and that. So yeah, really simple, and that's my guitar program stuff that I use. So on to the next one, yeah? On to the next section. Let's fucking go. So as you would have seen at the start of this episode, or during the intro music part of it, you would have seen the screen that's up right now. It was going across with the red line, of course, when I'm recording. At the moment, of course, it's blue because that is the section that I recorded while I was doing that. So at this point is basically what I call the rough sketch of my project. So I'm just writing the riff with the drum track, and once I come up with something that I like, I'll save it, and basically what you've seen right now. Once I've done that, so with guitar, you don't want to be just going straight down the middle with your mono recording in that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring in a track. So I'm going to get a new track, and even with the Valton plugged in via the USB to the computer, I'm still going to choose mic or line audio. Obviously I'm not going to, again, like I said, I'm not going to click on I want to hear my music as I play it. So it's all good, and then I'm just going to go create, and that's going to bring up this new track down here. So with that on, now I'm getting... Now that I've got this track done, let's just say for the sake of this episode, let's just say that riff is cool. It's what I want. We're all good. So on the in the GarageBand here, with the first track that I've done, I'm now going to pan it left. Pan it all the way left. And then with this track, the new track that I've just done, I'm going to pan that all the way right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play and record that same riff. I'm just going to mimic it with the same. Okay, so don't copy and paste, because all you're doing is just getting the exact same waves on the exact same thing, and it's just it just doesn't sound anywhere near as good. So begin recording. I'll bring the cursor in line with where everything starts, and so when I hit record on this, it's going to give me a 4 count with the metronome there, and then the metronome will stop and start recording. So like this. So now I've got 2 different tracks there, and they're obviously not going to be completely the same, because this first track I did about 3 or 4 days ago to start making this video, and I know it was done with those particular chords and that, the F and the G chords there, or the 3rd and the 5th fret, whichever way you want to fucking call it. But so now that I've panned it left and right, so what I'll do is I'll give you a quick example here. So what I might do is I'll put this back to 0, and then I'll mute this one, and we'll just play that back. And now I'll show you an example of what happens when you pan one all the way left and one all the way right. So just be with it. Of course, it's not going to be exactly spot on, but you should notice. Now, I don't know about you, but I definitely notice a huge difference in the sound quality and everything there with recording the guitar, doing it that way. Same works with Kling. Same, principle applies. So that's how I do it. That's how I come up with my guitar tracks. You do get, of course, some people might do quad tracks, so they'll of course add another track and they'll pan that one again. They'll pan it left, but they don't pan it all the way left. And then I think they also bring the decibels down. I don't really do that myself. I think I gave it a go on a few tracks, and I think I brought the decibels down by about 2 on the next 2. So I basically considered one left and right being my rhythm, the other left and right being my lead. But I kind of swayed away from that, went back to just doing it this way because it just seemed like it just didn't seem to work for me. But each to their own, of course. So that's the way you do it, and of course what you do from this. So that's my first section of what I've got. So what I might do there is I'll just split everything. And then from there, I can copy and paste this if I want to do this section again, so it goes twice. Or I can just come up with a completely different new section. So I can come back to my drums up here, go to my Kontakt player, back to my Crema drums like I did on number 1 there, and then I can pick a different groove, or I can pick the same groove and then I can speed it up like I'd done on that other one. And I don't need to have that playing straight off the bat from what's going on with this one, so I don't need to just plug it in straight away. I can now come up with a riff to that fast beat, and then come up with something that I really like, and then mash the two together. So I can just, once I've got them sectioned off in that, I can just drag them over and connect it up and see if it sounds any good, see if it works or not. Yeah, that's pretty much how it's done. It's kind of like an audio jigsaw puzzle, in a sense. And you can have so much fun with it. You don't need to, there's no restrictions. Just do whatever the hell you want. So that's how I record my guitar. Pretty simple. If there is any details that I've missed out, I might try and go over it in the next, in part 3. So in part 3, I'll be covering how I record the bass. That's really simple. As I mentioned, I also do that with my Vailton. And then I'll go over a couple of other details after that, just to cover anything that I might have missed maybe, or just blab on about a bunch of bullshit. One thing I do want to say when recording guitar, if you're recording with acoustic, what you want to do is you want to get yourself a condenser mic. You also want to get yourself a USB interface. There's plenty to choose from. Just don't go getting any off fucking Temu. Bottoms up. Behringer have some nice cheap ones. Those are the ones I've gone with. I know that there's been a lot of stuff said online how crap they might be or whatever, but I certainly don't have any issues with the ones that I have, or the one that I'm using. Just fish around, you'll find yourself some good deals. And that's how you record the acoustic. So you basically just have the condenser mic in front of the acoustic and you just record from there. And same thing applies. Just quick note with GarageBand, obviously you'll want to go into your settings here, and in the audio you choose where the sound's going out and where the input's coming from. So as you can see on here at the moment with the screen recording audio, that's coming out through my QuickTime player that's recording the screen for this episode. But the input device is my Felton, my GP200 there. So when you're recording with the USB interface, of course, that option will come up. It might even already be on here. So there's my USB interface right there. And so you're just, for the sake of if you're going to do the acoustic with the microphone, you'd select that and go from there. Of course, record your track and stuff. Same goes with vocals. So I use that USB interface for my vocals. That is, when I'm recording vocals, that is when I have the playback on so I can hear it back. Not the delay isn't quite as noticeable when I'm recording vocals because it's going direct through my interface rather than having to rely on the pedal and everything else going through it. So there's not as many, I guess, links or whatever going on in there. But that's it. So that's episode 7 part 2 done and dusted, I think. Nice and simple. And hopefully I'll fucking see you on the next one. Yeah, let's fucking go.
No one gives a shit about coming on the gyms, or it's just God knows himself. Asshole, fucking native visit where he came up on the south. Maybe it was even that you knew. Dude, racist motherfucker never liked the fucking Browns.
You know the rules about going to sleep, don't you?
She was reading someone. I mean, did I say that?